You know, if you love Rocky, you're really going to love Lola. Welcome to the Film Threat Podcast. I am Chris Gore. I am pleased to have on an up-and-coming filmmaker whose movie is Antoine Allen. Thank you so much for being on the Film Threat Podcast. Your movie Lola is premiering today. What are I mean, first of all, it's rare I get the opportunity to talk to a filmmaker whose movie is like on the cusp of its premiere. Tell us about the premiere, and then let's talk. Oh, can you hear me?
You just froze for a little bit.
Oh, I did. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, but tell us about the premiere, and then let's talk about your film.
Well, first, thank you for creating this amazing platform for filmmakers like us. We need it. Lord's on, we need it. So we appreciate that. My film Lola, in case I didn't figure it out, Lola is a female boxing film about this young African American female that goes out, have a fun night with her friends out, and wind up getting sexually assaulted. She wound up taking that pain and turning that pain into purpose. So we are premiering today at the American Black Film Festival. We're actually making our world premiere. So you go to ABFF.com, log in, free festival, and check us out, man. Lola.
Well, it's truly an amazing first of all, I love boxing stories and I love sports films because it's simple, right? Like a really good sports movie. It's about the personal struggles, but also you're either going to win or lose in a sports film, but it's generally not about that. In fact, if you ask anyone who won the fight in the first Rocky movie, almost everyone gets it wrong. It's not Rocky. He loses.
Yeah.
So, but I think, your story is, yes, it is a sports film. You can put it in the boxing genre, but it's more than that because the struggles are not about the fight as much. The fight is a background to a much bigger story. What inspired you to put this together and to tell this story? And it really is also, I feel like, something that's definitely relevant for today.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, so Lola is based off a short film I did 7, 8 years ago called Split Decision. And so my background, I came from the music business. I was doing the music business. I was managing hip hop artists from the neighborhood. I did a few music videos, but I felt like my purpose was limited. So I said, let me do something else. So when you in a crossroad in life, either you give up or you reinvent yourself. So I said, let me get into the film industry because a lot of my music videos was looking like movies anyway. So I did my first short film called Split Decision. I won a few awards and I caught the bug. I said, this is what I want to do. But before I did this film, I said, what could I do to make me stand out? What could I do that's in a market that's not oversaturated that can make me stand out? Because one thing about me when I do my films, I don't want to be tied up with a whole bunch of filmmakers. I want to be by myself because I just like to stand out. So the film basically came from an idea of $1 Million Baby. It was $1 Million Baby. It was Rocky, and I was like, we never had in the history of cinema any African American leading roles in a boxing film, especially a female. So I said, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I did Split Decision. 7 years later, I got the money and the resources. Now we had Lola One. It's a franchise, so we'll be working on part two in the future. But right now, that's the idea, just to do a project that not in the market and really haven't done be done before.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've never seen like a female boxer in a film like this before. It's amazing that you're already mapping out the franchise, but I'm not surprised. The actress that plays Lola, I don't know if I've seen her in anything before, but she's really amazing. And another thing is your poster art for this film is like, I mean, it's like a painting. I mean, you really just did an amazing job on this poster. So clearly you have, and I'm saying this for all the other independent filmmakers that might be watching this. We were talking before we started recording, and you have to have a business mind when you get into this industry. And clearly your background in the music industry prepared you for this, because I've interviewed a lot of people on the podcast. I've never had someone who had their own step and repeat and the t-shirt ready to go. Hey, I got a Film Threat t-shirt on. So I'm selling there, but I think that's really important. Like we were talking earlier, like, it's one thing to have the talent, right? And a lot of people have the talent. It's another thing to have the business savvy. So what got you to this place to get, put this project together with such a production value that, it's toe and toe. I mean, it's like, it's a very impressive debut feature film.
Yeah, thank you. So the lead actress, Taja V. Simpson, amazing actress. She was in a few Tyler Perry films. She's in Tyler Perry The Boo 2, and she also in Tyler Perry hit show on BET called The Oval. It's a hit show it's on now. But the business savvy came from the music business. I was managing artists. I was developing their package. I was teaching them how to do a contract. And I realized in this film business or any business, you can't be a one-trick pony. And being talented is not enough. So a lot of my success and accomplishments didn't come from I'm just an amazing filmmaker because I know the business. Because what I realized is it's going to be directors, it's going to be writers, it's going to be filmmakers that's way better than me, but they would never out hustle me because the hustle's so separate. That's one thing. That's how you separate yourself. You might get someone that have more connection, more this or that, but the hustle, that's when you separate yourself. So that's why I realized that I might not come from a rich family. I might not have the big connections, but when it comes to hustling, that's something they can beat me at. So that's where that came from. And I tell all filmmakers, and I mentor a lot, that learn the business. That's what's gonna save your life. Not this, you can make the most beautiful film in the world, but the business side is ownership. Like Lola, I own Lola. I was reading an article about Sylvester Stallone a few months ago, and he was talking about how he don't own nothing in Rocky. And I learned that business wise, I'm not gonna be have my name all over the place. I have no ownership. So I learned from Sylvester Stallone, and thank you for paying the way that you got to own yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, just getting started like this, you're already thinking franchise. It reminds me of my friend, um, Alex Ferrari. I don't know if you know who he is. He
Hmm.
does a podcast called Indie Film Hustle, and it's
Yes,
all,
yes, he's a great, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's great. He's like, it's everything that you're talking about. It's, like you have to know that business side. Like you can hire a great cinematographer. I have to actually compliment you on the cinematography on the
Thank you,
movie
Chris
too.
Fox. Yeah, Chris Fox, my cinematographer, great guy.
Dude, it's so good too. Like it's and I think it's important, like especially because cinematographers don't always get right lighting black people, I feel like is a problem. And you gotta
Yeah,
get that's why I think black cinematographers just I'm sorry, they just do a better job, at that. And that's something I was reading an article in, I think it was the Hollywood Reporter, about like just even like makeup and hair and stuff is different. That's why I think like black creators like yourself is so important, and owning your own work is really important. So that you get those unique voices, not like being beholden to like a big corporation. I mean, you might be if you sell the movie. Have you thought about like what the pathway is for you? Like there are a lot of indie film distributors out there. Lola is incredibly commercial, and I mean this as a positive. It's got the art
mm-hmm.
side of it, and it's very true in spirit, and it very is, but it's also like, I mean, you got the marketing down, and I think that's sometime an afterthought for filmmakers. But I feel like, have you thought about like distribution in terms of like what, I mean, the movie's premiering tonight, but in terms of distribution, what are some of the sources you're looking at, or it's like this is the debut and then looking at offers?
Well, I wish you was the head of a big studio because the way your mind think is the reality of it. So I've been approached from a few distributors, but the problem when you deal with those distributors, they don't want to give you nothing up front. If they do, they want to give you a small guarantee. So I have some distributors that hit me up. They want to give away 10, 20,000, but that's nothing. I could make that myself. So right now, what I'm trying to do is to get someone a name to come on the EP or a network them on board. But right now, I'm more focused on getting a name because when you have a film with no big names that they would consider value, it's best to get someone that have a big name that could be an EP and co-sign it. It's a little easier. So when it comes to distribution, we still shopping around. If you know anybody, let me know. But we shopping around and we got some offers, but none of the offers worth either entertaining. So we shopping around and we're going to see what happens. But tonight, everybody get to go on ABFF.com, register a free festival, and you get to watch the film, enjoy it, tell a friend, tell a producer, tell whoever you can to get to notice. But it is hard. And going back to what you said about lighting, this film when I first started, I had people tell me, once you get someone more lighter that could appeal to a more Caucasian orders, and I was like, why? And that's a problem. A lot of dark skin complexion actors. Some production would get a black light skin actress over a dark skin actress because another reason because of that, the light and the makeup, because they can feel more comfortable. So I'm happy that I know my power and know my worth. That I didn't fall into that industry brainwash peasant mindset.
Well, I think on the point that you just made, I just think it's important to get someone who knows how to light. I mean,
Yeah.
you got it's just it's all about the lighting. It's not. I mean, especially because the actress that you picked, I didn't realize she was in Tyler Perry movies, but
Hmm.
and I really admire Tyler Perry because he doesn't give a fuck. He even
At
made he
all.
made. But see, I love that because like this is I mean, recently Michael B. Jordan put a thing out about like how he's trying to get like Hollywood to, you know, he wants them to, and I'm thinking like, Michael B. Jordan, you got a lot of power. Why don't you just do your own thing? You don't need Hollywood. I mean, even with like what I'm doing, it's like I'm not accepted by a lot of people. I just do my own thing and I don't care. And that's what I admire people like Tyler Perry who are like, I'm gonna make movies for my audience. I don't care. I'm gonna find the financing, the audience. I'm gonna find them. He doesn't care, and I kind of feel like maybe I guess like you know, this club in Hollywood that people want to be a part of, it's not that important. You can make your own community, and it sounds like you're already on the road to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a video of I did a private premiere for Lola before we got locked down in New York because of the COVID, and we sold out 320 seats in the AMC movie theater, and I videotaped the whole thing. So a lot of my premieres, I do a lot of Tyler Perry structure. He taught me how to build your own orders. So I sell a lot of theaters from my previous projects and my current projects. But yeah, what happens is most people don't reach their full potential because of two things. One is fear, and I get it. Fear is very is frightening. And two, they seeking validation. They begging for a seat at the table. When I hear people be like, I've been putting in work for 20, 30 years, what I really hear is you've been waiting for 20, 30 years. So for me, I realized that if you build your own table, the food tastes way better.
I love what you just said because that's the thing is it's like it really like boggles my mind when I see people that they're seeking validation from other people. You don't need that. You do what you did, which is you hired yourself to make this movie, right? I mean, that's just this
Yeah,
so obvious thing. When you're waiting for someone to cast you or to hire you as the director or whatever it is, you give them power that you already have in yourself.
yeah,
So you're a living embodiment of that, and I'm
yeah,
just
and
like,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm glad that you get it. Like, it's just
Cause
like,
well, I used to be like that though. I used to be like that. I used to be the one that's begging, oh please, please. And I realized, Antoine, they don't care about you. They won't care about you until you get to a little further. Like, oh, I remember you. And I realized that I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. I could be doing this myself. So I said, let me get the courage because it takes courage. Like it takes courage. Like this is hard. Like it's times at night I was like, what I'm doing? But I realized that when you build your own table, make your own food, know your own season, tastes so good. No one can tell you nothing.
uh, well, Antoine, congratulations on the film. What's the on Lola? What's the website again so you can see it?
So yeah, so we are making our world premiere at the American Black Film Festival. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go to ABFF.com, you're gonna register, it's free, and you can actually watch the film anytime from August 21st all the way to August 30th. It's a 10-day festival. But I want you to come to a world premiere because after you watch the film this weekend, on August 24th, I'm doing an Instagram live and I'm giving away Lola t-shirts. So
Nice.
you got to watch a movie. I'm gonna ask you some questions. So if you don't watch a movie, you get no shirts. But yeah, abff.com, register for free, free event. See the world premiere of my female boxing film Lola, starring Taja V. Simpson.
And where can people follow you on social media or check out your website?
You can go to my official website and everything's there, AntoineAllenFilms.com. You get to see my previous movies. You get to see what I've been up to. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This COVID was a hit, but for independent filmmakers, there's a lot of opportunities.
See, I've always said that and I have no doubt that the film is going to sell and get distribution just because it's a genre that I always love, especially in the realm of sports movies, boxing movies. So I have no doubt it's going to sell, and I hope that this is the kickoff to a franchise. I can totally see it being a franchise, and this is like the first one that's gritty and rough. I mean, there's some parts in this movie that are intense.
We
So
need to get you at a film distributor company. We need to give you a network because this man.
that's part of why I started Film Threat. Is I was sick of these filmmakers around like that were just like, oh, woe is me attitude. I'm like, no, you just got to do it yourself. You got to like you said, set your own table. You don't wait to get hired from all these other people. Just make your own opportunity. What's funny is a lot of the people that you see, a lot of filmmakers who've made their way, they started the way that you did, which is just like you just do it yourself, and then finally people notice. But Antoine Allen, congratulations on Lola. I want to thank you, and I want to thank our sponsor, Storyblocks. Go to storyblocks.com/film threat. It helps support Film Threat, and you'll get access to 1 million clips that you can use in your movie free of charge. Well, if you give them the little monthly fee. Antoine, dude, it was like a pleasure talking to you, man. This was awesome.
You too, man. We got to do this again.
Let's do it. Let's do it again. When you get distribution for the movie and it's commercially available, yes. I want to have you come back, and then we'll talk about like when it's being released. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Antoine.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your day.